Today I will be teaching you how to build a hobbyist's solid fuel forge. These parts can be found around most towns and at a fairly low dollar. One point regarding your safety: make sure all of the plumbing purchased is black steel and not galvanized. The temperatures which this apparatus will reach will cause galvanized pipes to give off deadly fumes. If you cannot tell the difference in the pipes yourself, consult an associate at your local hardware or plumbing supply store. Do not take any chances. The piece which this entire project will be based around is the brake drum. It is a solid steel basin in which our fuel will be held and our metal will be heated. Drums like this one can be found at any auto salvage lot and cost around $20. This will be the most expensive part of our project. The next piece is what will connect our brake drum to the rest of the apparatus, the floor flange. This will also set the size of the piping we use for the rest of the forge, as it can be the hardest piece to find. You want to aim for a 2-inch diameter, but 1.5 will be sufficient. Don't go any smaller than that though. You want to make sure the pipes are wide enough for air to push out and ashes to fall in. If you have trouble finding one of these in stock, a plumbing supply store can usually order one for you. Next, you will need a T-pipe. This will connect the rest of the pipes together. Then 2 shorter pipes in the 6 to 8 inch range that will make up the neck of the forge. After that, a longer 10 to 12 inch pipe that will serve to keep the forge's air source a safe distance from the heat. Then a cap that will catch the ashes and other waste that fall from the brake drum and also keep air from flowing out of the bottom of the forge. Lastly, a rubber coupling is required to attach the air source to the forge. One end of the coupling should be fit to the forge's piping and the other to the air source, be it a bellows, a shop vac, or in this case a hairdryer. Now we will begin our assembly. The only difficult part about putting this thing together is attaching the flange to the brake drum. Most brake drums come with some holes drilled into them, but it is unlikely that they will line up with those on your flange. Unless you get very lucky, you will need to use the flange to mark drilling locations and use either a drill press or a hammer drill to make your holes. You will want to use a decent sized bit so that you can fit in strong bolts. Always wear eye protection. Now to put together the plumbing. First, connect the flange to one of the shorter pipes. Second, screw that pipe into one of the parallel ends of your T-pipe. Thirdly, put the other short pipe into the opposite end of the T. For the fourth step, in the remaining end of the T-pipe, screw in the longer piece. To finish the plumbing, place the cap over the end of the apparatus opposite to the flange. There you have it. Now you're ready to attach to the brake drum. Simply line the holes up on your 2 pieces and push some bolts through from the drum side so that the nuts can be attached to the flange side so the bolts won't obstruct the inside of the drum. Employ washers if the nuts or the heads of the bolts are too small for the hole for any reason. Make sure the bolts are tight so that the drum does not move. Finally, we are going to attach the air source. Just slip the coupling over the end of the long pipe and tighten it down with a screwdriver. Then insert your air source in the other end of the coupling. Only tighten this enough to be snug. You want to be able to remove your air source from your forge at a moment's notice should anything go wrong, so that you can remove the source of the fire's heat. Now that the forge is assembled, we need a way to hold it upright. A safe and simple way to do this is by using bricks and cinder blocks, which are heat resistant and sturdy. Always make sure they are on flat, level ground and that the forge doesn't easily move. And there you have it, your very own hobbyist blacksmith forge. Remember, it is not a toy. It uses coal or lump charcoal to make fires over 1,000 degrees. Always practice fire safety and wear protective clothing. Thank you, and I hope you have enjoyed this presentation.